Greetings. Today we continue part 2 of Exemplifying Christ's Unjust Suffering. We read passages in John 13 yesterday, verses 4 through 15. Today we want to look back in beginning to verse 1 of John 13 to give the context for this particular lesson, illustrated in a physical action by Jesus. It says, "Now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of the world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end." In verse 34 of that same chapter, he goes on to say, "A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another. As in the same manner I have loved you, that you love one another also. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples, if you have love one to another." Jesus then gave his life as a ransom for many, leaving us an example that we are to suffer for the benefit of others, just as he suffered unjustly for us. And this will be the theme of the next message as we conclude this chapter. In the book of 2 John, in verse 5, we find, "And now I beseech thee, lady, not as though I wrote a new commandment unto you, but that which we had from the beginning, that we love one another." Leviticus 19:18, Old Testament, states the principle, "Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord." Hebrews 12, beginning at verse 1. "Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed or compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight, and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners, opposition of sinners against himself, lest you be wearied and faint in your minds. You have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin." 1 Peter 2:21 literally says, "For with respect to this you all were called, because Christ also he suffered patiently for us, leaving behind for us an example, in order that you all may follow his particular steps," or his footprinted path. This word for steps is only used 3 times in the New Testament. Here in 1 Peter 2:21, and Romans 4:12, and 2 Corinthians 12:18, where it is specifically referring to footprints one leaves on a pathway. Romans 4:12 says, "For the father of circumcision to them who are not of the circumcision only, but who also walk in the steps of that faith of our father Abraham, which he had being yet uncircumcised." 2 Corinthians 12:18, "I desired Titus, and with him I sent a brother. Did Titus make gain of you? Walked we not in the same spirit? Walked we not in the same steps?" Secret of unity is walking in the same spirit. 1 John 2:6, "He that saith he abideth in him, ought himself also so to walk, even as he walked." The great question then becomes, how can I learn to think, to walk, and to talk like Jesus? Well, Matthew 11:28 instructs us. Very often it's just given to as a salvation message to lost people, but I believe it's really directed to believers in service when he says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Come to Jesus, yoke up with him, and follow his lead in the yoke. That will cause you to follow his steps. We don't have to read a laborious and dry instructional textbook to figure this out. We have a clearly written word from God with multiple colorful illustrations of how the incarnate Word, Jesus Christ, did things. So let's examine the divinely inspired answer to the question of how to exemplify Christ's unjust suffering.